Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Last Word. I am Q, your host, and I am joined by a fantastic panel of guests. Now, every single time I mess this up, so let's see if we can get this right. I'm going to try to point to people as I introduce them, but it's always backward and gets me screwy. So here we go. On my right, we've got Cortney Warner.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am fantastically well. Comedian extraordinaire. We hope you are. No pressure, but I hope you're super funny on this episode.
I also have the same hope. Every day of my life, that's my hope.
People just come up and they're like, hey, Cortney, it's time to be funny, please. So
yes, that's it.
what you do. Perfect. Well, thanks, Cortney, for joining us on, let's see here. This way. Yes. Hey, what's up, Justin? How are you, sir?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I am wonderfully well. So for those who don't know, Justin is our chief audio editor at Project Nerd. So this dude has to listen to our voices all the time. Cut out all of our ums and smacks and pops and all that good stuff. Thank you. Bless you, sir. You provide an invaluable service to the Project Nerd family. Speaking of Project Nerd family, let's see. Ryan right here. Boom. What's up, Ryan?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Ryan is our chief video editor. So he gets to make us not look goofy, I guess. Maybe.
Sometimes goofy is the point, but hey.
That's true. 1000% true. You get to like touch up our faces so we look beautiful when we're on camera. This is a live episode, so none of that's happening. So what you see is what you get. It's just we're putting it all out there.
Wait, this is live.
Except for, I must say, Gogo Incognito is beautiful as always.
Yeah.
How are you, Gogo?
I am good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to win or lose or just make an ass of myself.
We are excited for all of those things as well, definitively. Now, you are quite the pop culture personality, so I know I put pressure on Cortney beforehand to be hilarious, but this is essentially a nerd off, and you may be one of the biggest and best nerds I've ever met. So, no pressure, but you better win this.
I am strangely nervous for this, actually, in a very good way, because I love competition, and I was lying. I am here to win. And definitely
Perfect.
Myself.
Excellent. You hear that, everyone? She's coming for you. All right, guys. Now, for those who haven't watched The Last Word, it is the only game show on the Project Nerd Network where the opinions are very, very real and the points are very, very not. And that is because they are awarded by this guy. And my opinion ultimately is what matters most. So, anyone who wants to suck up to me during the show, feel free. It may or may not win you the contest. We'll see. Now, the game is played like this. We're going to go through 3 rounds of questions. You guys were all sent questions beforehand, so you could do a little bit of research, but not enough research to like actually have some sort of well-formed opinion, unless you all are truly the nerds that I think you are. So, in round 1, I'm going to give you each 2 questions. We'll go around the horn, give everybody an opportunity to answer the question. I will award points to whatever opinion I think is the best at the end of each question. And at the end of the round, we will tally up those points and see who gets eliminated, boo, and is banished to the green room of shame, I guess, and who gets to continue on to the next round. And we will do that for 3 rounds, finally culminating in 2 nerds going head to head against our final question. And whoever wins that question gets tonight's last word. That's 30 seconds to do whatever you want. I know I've given examples before, but I'll give them again. We've had people chew Big League Chew and tell us how it tastes for 30 seconds. Sure, it's your time. Do what you want. We've had people plug their show, plug their social media, plug their podcasts. It's your moment to shine, so use it to the best of your ability. Now, before we begin, I have to ask, is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, ready to go.
Perfect, because here we go with round 1. Boom. We are into it. It's happening, guys. This is where it all gets real. The first question of the night. After the runaway success of The Mandalorian, the House of Mouse has decided to double and even quadruple down on its expanded Star Wars universe TV series, giving characters like Boba Fett, Cassian Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and potentially, one that I'm most excited about, and Ahsoka Tano, their very own show. Now, that said, one thing I have wondered is there still room in the Star Wars pantheon for new Star Wars films while all of these shows are happening? Or should Disney stick to the small screen while expanding the Star Wars universe? I would like to hear, because I know she does an amazing Star Wars act. Gogo Incognito, I'd like your answer.
Oh boy, I am first. Okay, I have thoughts and feelings, so I'm going to say them right now.
Perfect.
Okay, why I think these shows are so successful, or Mandalorian was so successful, and I guess I'm thinking ahead and wishing ahead, is because they kind of scaled down. They encapsulated, rather than having this overarching galaxy-wide space opera, they kind of, took it smaller. They made a space Western. And I think these shows are absolutely going to shine. And if they continue like The Mandalorian did, they're absolutely going to buy Star Wars that favor again for the big screen. But right now, I think we are burned out. So the only way I think that Star Wars movies should come back big time is if they have the same forethought to kind of follow a story. Make use of the characters. Not send the minorities off on stupid quests. And those are my thoughts.
I love it, Gogo. You're coming out of the gate with a strong opinion and one that I feel is very well informed. Now, because rules don't matter, Ryan, you're up next.
Oh, man. Well, I got to agree with Gogo here. And I think part of the problem, so we've got so much going on. I'm looking forward to the Book of Boba Fett. I am looking forward to The Bad Batch. Holy cow, looks good. I'm looking forward to Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, all the stuff that's coming. And we do have a film in the works, but I think that's exactly it, is trying to throw in a film now is rushing into it. That was one of my big criticisms of the sequel trilogy, was that it felt like it didn't have enough thought put into it. It felt like we're focusing on this movie and then see how it does and then tweak the next movie based off of that. It didn't feel that cohesive, continuous storyline that the original trilogy had. If you look at New Hope, Jedi, and Empire, that felt like just one massive story that they had to split up. But if you look at the sequel trilogy, it felt too much like, what did the crowd think about this one? What did the audience think about this one? Let's tweak some things. Do I really know where this character story arc is going? And it just didn't have that. I mean, Boyega even said himself, he said, you knew where Daisy's character was going. You had no idea where my character was going. And I would rather have fewer films come out with longer time periods in between them and have them come out better than try to crank out a film every year or two films every year and have them just be blah. So, let Favreau and Filoni take on, all of these small screen stories and just rock them and bring us back to bring the fans back, because I think the sequel trilogies really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths and almost lost a ton of fans. So let's just go with what we've got on the slate. Don't go with try to cram in too many movies, and bring everybody back to square one and make us love it again.
I love it.
I said. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say your response echoing Gogo, but I feel like maybe adding to it a little bit more as well. I loved it. Both great responses. Courtney, you're up next. Nope, wrong side. Nope, Courtney, you're up next.
There you go. All right. Yeah, I'm going to not say a whole lot anything new that hasn't already been said, because I agree with a lot of it. I also just, you think about like Solo and Rogue One and how they were like okay. I mean, Rogue One was a pretty good movie, but like Solo, I actually didn't even see it because I had no interest in watching it, and I think that could have maybe been better served for like a TV show, which is I'm glad that they went in that direction. Although we already know what Harrison Ford looked like when he was 25, you know what I mean? So that kind of took some of it out. It took a little bit of the magic out for me. I think Disney's just too much. And so I think for them to try and dominate the TV and the film world right now, which is what they have been doing, but with Star Wars, they're just stretching, like basically repeating what everyone else said. They're stretching out this property way too much and not putting the care and love into it that I think a lot of people are really missing. I didn't hate the sequel trilogy, but I also felt like it was just like a giant toy commercial, kind of like I feel like that way a little bit about Marvel sometimes too, but especially with the new Star Wars movies. So I am excited to see all the TV shows and just give them a little bit, like what Gogo was saying, a little bit more time to just develop characters and to give them story arcs and don't just make everything about blowing everything up, which I feel like is great, but also like I don't want to see Star Wars go down the Michael Bay route. I know I've talked about how much I don't like Michael Bay many times. Sure. But I feel like without any kind of stakes, you're not going to care. And I felt like I was starting to care less and less as the sequel trilogy went on. And even in Rogue One, where it's just like, yeah, we all know how it's going to end. They're going to die. I had to censor myself.
Oh my God. Spoiler alert, everyone. Jeez.
Oh God. Yeah.
Dropping bombs of a movie that came out like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry for the 40-year-old spoilers to A New Hope. My bad.
Listen, if you haven't seen it by this point, that's your own fault.
I did I do have a coworker who got mad that I spoiled The Force Awakens 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
cool.
that's no.
Sorry,
that's on them. That's on them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the embargo is up at that point for sure.
Right.
Well, that's a great response, Cortney. I love it. I'm gonna give you an extra point in my mind only because you spoiled something from your coworker, and I think that's hilarious.
Oh, I love doing that.
Justin, you're bringing it home for us. What do you got?
I'm bringing the contrarian opinion. Here's what
Oh
yeah, everybody's looking at me like, what? Here's the thing. We are all, I can agree that the four of us are all, we can consider ourselves hardcore Star Wars fans. True?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here's where Disney sees differently. They don't care. All they care about is how much money they can make from Star Wars and Marvel and everything else. So you've got two sets of fans that they see in their mind. The casual fan who's going to buy anything. You could put Jar Jar Binks on a screen for 30 minutes and people would. I just saw that, Ryan. The fans would buy it. The casual fan would buy it. The hardcore fan, like Ryan, would want to throw me through a window for just recommending that. But here's the thing: the hardcore fan, even though they are going to give that opinion, they're still going to go see it or watch it on Disney Plus so they can go on social media and rip it to shreds. Either way, Disney's got your money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Whether they do it in a theater or, as I see them doing it, going the access route, on Disney Plus.
The early access, sure, like the premiere access.
The premiere access, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. They could do that, just skip the theaters altogether and have the movies and the television shows right there, and they've still got your money either way. That's how they see it, no matter what. If you're a hardcore fan, if you're a casual fan, they got your money either way, so they don't care about the plot, the storyline, how to advance it, how to make it work for everybody, because the casual fan, they don't care. There's Michael Bay, like you said, Courtney, there's Michael Bay explosions, and it's in space, and they can just space out for 2.5 hours. The hardcore fan, of course, is going to sit there and be like live tweeting, oh, this sucks. Why am I here? Well, because you spent the $8.99 or $29.99 if it's at home, and Disney don't care because they got your money either way.
Boy, is the claws are out on this first question, and I love it. If you guys saw me, I'm writing in my little notepad awarding points as we go along. Boy, these were some good answers. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know where we stand. At the end of question 1, we Gogo, I gave you 3 points. A, because you went first. That's always great. And B, you managed to have an answer that most of the other 2 responded to. So I gave you 3 points. Ryan, I gave you 1.5 points, mainly because you went second and you basically said everything that Gogo said, which is great.
I did agree with you very much, Ryan.
I agree.
Cortney, I gave you 2 points because you also said what Gogo said, but you spoiled The Force Awakens for a coworker, and I think that's hilarious. So you get 2 points. And Justin, you get 2.3 points because I love a contrarian opinion, but the fact that you pointed out that Disney only wants my money made me sad. So we've got Cortney with 2, Justin with 2.3, Gogo with 3, and Ryan with 1.5. Now, the second question could either level the playing fields, but it will definitively eliminate someone. So, question 2. Speaking of sad news, with the saddening news that Alamo Drafthouse has recently filed for bankruptcy and are going to be closing some of their locations, alongside the fact that Warner Brothers, already 3 films in, seems to be making good on their promise to release their entire film slate this year directly to HBO Max. What does the future for theaters look like to you? Ryan, because you're trailing behind everybody, I'm going to let you go first this time. Ryan, what do you think?
I appreciate it. Yeah, the news with Alamo Drafthouse is really sad, and I hate to see it. You know, as a cinephile myself, I love going to see it on the big screen, and I don't think that'll die out completely. I think they will stick around. Real theaters will stick around just because of, you know, the people who are passionate about. Everybody wants to go and see it in theaters and see it on the big screen, on a screen that you can't fit in your apartment, right? And get that sound system experience that you can't, you know, buy on a budget. But I think they will get pared down. I don't think you'll see them, you know, nearly eliminated like drive-ins were, because that was, you know, sort of, well, we can go sit in a seat rather than the car, get better sound experience. But I do think that it'll be a much smaller market, because you're seeing the scenarios where families are sitting at home where they can buy a Disney Plus account and sit there with their whole family and spend a fraction of what they would spend if they went to Alamo. You know, if you're just me or you, we're each buying our own tickets, yeah, we can get out of there for what, you know, $30 to $50 if you're buying food and drinks and stuff like that. But a family of 5, look at how expensive that's going to be. You're going to see a lot of those staying at home and going with the whole HBO Max, Disney Plus, streaming services, and sticking with that. I think families aren't going to go to the movies as much anymore. So as sad as it is to say, I don't think they're going to come back nearly as strong.
Ooh, man, bringing us in on a dour note on question 2. Next up, Cortney, could you add some levity, or maybe not, with your answer?
I mean, it probably won't be that much levity, but I don't think here's something positive. I hope with all of this change that movie studios will finally quit making just mediocre stuff. Sorry. Because I think because I do, obviously we saw this kind of decline anyway because of Netflix and Hulu, like a lot of the rom-coms and like more of the indie films that you would see in a theater. Like I remember I saw 500 Days of Summer in like in an AMC, you know, like, but you wouldn't see that probably now. You'd see it at more of a smaller theater, but like a lot, like rom-coms and all that stuff you're seeing more on Netflix. And I think that actually has given it a resurgence in the genre, or just smaller comedies in general, because I remember before COVID, there were like a handful of really good comedies that came out in theaters and they didn't do well. I think it was like Long Shot, Late Night, few of ones like that. And there was an article that I read saying that these are really good. And in like the early 2000s or even the 90s, these would have killed, you know, but now theaters are being dominated by Marvel, Star Wars, Michael Bay, whatever. And so I think that like theaters will be sticking around for like bigger budget movies, as people are still going to want to go see those tentpole summer movies or Christmas movies or whatever. So I think that's cool. But I think a lot of the other stuff is going to get pushed to streaming services, which again is fine. 'Cause I think the quality is better, because I don't think they don't have all the studios just jumping down their throats, like trying to make this or that more accessible where someone can watch it if they want to watch it. And generally they do want to watch it if it's at home. So I think indie theaters will stick around, because there's going to, like Ryan said, there's going to be like people who love movies who will go. There's a local independent theater here in Nashville that I love going to when there's not a pandemic, on the rare occasion. And also like with giant theaters, with bigger ones like franchise theaters, I think those will stick around too. And I think it'll have to be more of a special event. Like, what was it, like in the 20s or something, where like whenever it was, sometime back in history, when movies were becoming more of like of a thing to go do, it was like a special event. Like there was a movie that was traveled around like cities,
Sure.
and you can go
Like a
see
road
it.
show.
Yeah, that's what I was looking. So I think movies it won't be exactly a road show, but I think it'll be like, oh great, there's this movie coming out, we're all going to go see this one thing and make it an event. So I think theaters are going to have to tailor their services to that kind of a crowd and that kind of a market.
I'm into it. I like that opinion. Let's go with Gogo. What do you got?
I like the idea of a movies being a special event. I was thinking that very much. Here is the thing. Also a Nashville person here. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
To meet you too.
And I know around me that there is a beautiful Art Deco theater that is closed. Its doors are shuttered, but it is not gone. I think it is a special place that people want to get back to. I know our big AMC that has the reclining seats with the cup holder, and it's all posh and it's more expensive, but you can reserve your seat, and it is a night out. They are doing terribly, to the point where you can rent out an entire theater for you and your friends for $100. And I absolutely plan to do that when the new Mortal Kombat comes out, because that needs to be seen on a big screen. Like, I don't care if it's good. I just want to see it. Now, what is going to happen to theaters? Can companies like AMC and can they find a way to weather this? I don't know that they have the resilience of the big box stores like Best Buy and all these other that are actually hurting as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they should make their own streaming service. It's a thought. The other thing is, if they do, especially in Nashville and here in the South, if they do need to sell their properties, I know that a gun range would be happy to move in. So they may be able to creep some things. Meanwhile, Lord of the Rings, or the Fellowship of the Rings, is playing at oh gosh, what are they called? I forget what they're called. They're really big and they're awesome. IMAX.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was thinking that's a computer.
It is also, depending on the inflection,
That's
is also
how
a
long
computer.
it's been since I went to an IMAX. But this big event, the 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary of the Lord of the Rings, is bringing it back out remastered. It's a whole big thing. I don't know why they didn't wait until November when it is actually the anniversary, but maybe they thought the time is now. I don't know if I'm going to go because I've seen it so many times. I can recite it from history, but maybe I will go because it's going to the movies and it's something to do. So kind of agreeing absolutely with what Cortney said, where if they can find a way to make it special again, like the way Singapore Airlines made flying like pretty cool and sexy again, then they may be able to stay alive. But really hard to rebrand and put all that money in when you are financially hurting. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that the cool places with the loungy chairs that let me drink wine, I'm going to be like, yes, they are going to stay open. Power of positivity. Q is writing.
Speechless.
Q, you got the circle loading.
He just
Oh no!
So I guess this is a talk amongst yourselves.
So we can all have our 30 seconds. I'd like to use mine to explain why I think Timothée Chalamet and I should be married. And
and go.
No, he might actually see this. I'm kidding. He will never see this.
All right.
You know it's bad when the host actually dips out.
I
and
know.
says, I'm taking so many
Like,
notes.
Your opinion's wrong. I'm gone.
These opinions
I hate
are
you all.
so wrong. I'm out.
I didn't want to be so gloom and doom. I was
He's
trying to
rage
bring
quit.
some
There he
happiness.
is. He rage quit.
Uh-oh, he's
Oh no, he's
oh no!
It's the still of Q.
Hello.
Let's all be
Hello?
right now.
We can hear you.
Okay, I
There
have
you
no
go.
idea what happened.
Oh,
StreamYard like popped up and was like, I don't know what happened. This could be on our end. We're very sorry. Please try logging back into the session. Okay.
All cursed so much that you will
Oh, yeah.
never get
It
monetized.
did it like it broke StreamYard. StreamYard was like, no, we're putting it into this right now. Someone in an office in like Sacramento was like, not happening on our watch. Okay, so I caught the very tail end of what you were saying, Gogo. I heard the last thing I heard was you were talking about Lord of the Rings in IMAX. Was there a whole lot after that that I missed?
I was going to say, finishing up. Well, I mean, the moment is gone. I was so
I
passionate.
know. I'm
yeah.
so
It was good.
sorry.
It was really good.
I'm adding half a point to your score just because of a technical malfunction.
I
You're
was
welcome.
trying
Thank
to
you.
bring
I'm
the
taking
power
a point away from your
positivity that I do believe that some theaters will absolutely endure because they are creating, well, Cortney already said this already, special events. And what I said, if they can make it fun and upscale, like an event like Singapore Airlines, like, you know, because you used to get dressed up to go fly and smoke a lot of cigarettes. Let's not do that in a movie theater. In fact, don't smoke, kids. They're bad. But if going to the movies was sort of elevated again to make it a real night out, and it is expensive, so make it worth the money so we don't stay home, then sure. I think they can still find their niche. I mean,
like
bowling
that
alleys still thrive.
Yeah, that's
It's
true. Roller
true.
rinks.
That's so true. All right, great. I love it. Justin, what do you got for me?
I think it's a question of, or not a question of, it's just a marketing standpoint. They can absolutely thrive, but they have to change what they're doing. Can they survive on blockbusters? No. Could they survive on, let's say, second run, third run movies? Absolutely. And bring in the occasional Fathom events, because you have that does occasionally run in select theaters. Have Fathom events, open it up nationally, have the one or two night special blockbuster movie, and then during the week have your second run, third run. And I know people are gonna be like, really, dude, I'm going to go see Jurassic Park in a movie theater? Well, yes, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us here. Raise your hand if you're old enough to remember a $1 movie theater. No. Okay, so there's like three of us. Okay, so my age card just went right there. If they could find a way to bring in the older movies that maybe the younger ones have not seen yet at a reasonable price for families, that would make it, a way for families to get out into the theater, and then have that occasional, maybe twice a year, maybe quarterly special blockbuster event, then absolutely independent theaters and chain theaters could absolutely thrive if they market it properly. If not, then it's going to be very, very difficult to do.
I like that opinion. I think that's solid. We've got, I can tell you, we've got people chatting with us on Facebook who are watching the stream right now. Dane agrees with you as well. He says people will gladly pay $15 for popcorn at a $1 movie.
Exactly.
Probably pretty accurate.
Yes.
Now, that's great answers. I'm so sorry for our technical flub. I will award points right now.
Wait,
So,
did Ryan go?
I went first.
Oh, I guess I just
First.
forgot everything you said then.
Oh,
Lived in sick wasn't
Wow.
memorable.
Sick
Ooh.
burn.
Ouch.
I'm
Ow.
emailing you a list of burn centers right now that you can go to for that sick 3rd-degree burn that Gogo just gave you.
Get some aloe.
So Gogo, Gogo, I'm going to give
Need
you
the
another
Zuko
half
jar.
point just for like burning a fellow guest.
Okay.
All right, so we've got Gogo. At the end of this question, you've got I've awarded you 3.5 points. The 0.5 was because of the technical flub, as I promised, but I just gave you another 0.5, which brings you up to 6.5 for the round because you burned Ryan so hard and it was hilarious. Ryan, speaking of, you came into the round with 1.5 points. I have given you another 2 points because you made me sad with all of your talk about movie theaters going away. As a movie theater lover, it depressed me, and I don't like hearing that. I only like hearing things that make me happy. So that gives you 3.5 points with the round. Cortney, I gave you 3 points because anyone who can check Michael Bay twice in 2 different questions that have nothing to do with each other, I really, really enjoy. As a matter of fact, Damon, who's watching on Facebook, also enjoy. He said that Michael Bay sucks, and you get 20 hot points for that. But I'm going to give you 3 for the round, bringing you to 5. And Justin, I'm going to award you 2.7 points.
Okay.
Because it's a number that
To
I
round
like.
out the 0.3.
I think it's
It
good.
has nothing to do with rounding out the 0.3 from the last round.
That's right.
Right.
So Justin, that brings you in at 5 points. Cortney, that brings you in at 5 points. Gogo, that puts you in the lead at 6.5 points. And Ryan, that means you, sir, are the first round loser. Everybody say bye to Ryan as we move on to round 2. Goodbye, Ryan.
Bye.
Hi, Ryan.
He's going to eat that burn. He needs to go put some ice on it. All right, guys. So that means we are officially into round 2. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited. All right, so round 2, we're gonna start off just hot. We're going right into it. Question 1, round 2, with multiple celebs backing out and even boycotting the Grammys this year, and the Oscars right around the corner with nominations recently released. Do you think that there is still a place for these pomp and circumstance, and some may say biased and even antiquated style award shows in a post-COVID and, more importantly, a decidedly more woke world? I'm going to give that question to Cortney. You haven't started.
All right.
Let's go for it.
All right. I think that there is still a place for award shows, but I think they have to just clean house as far as the Academy goes, as far as like all the Hollywood Foreign Press, all whatever the hell, all those things, you know, like, because they're all just like old white people, specifically old white men, specifically probably predators who are in there, you know, who are being swayed by money. Like I watched a video essay about, unfortunately, how Harvey Weinstein changed the way that the Academy, the Oscars are run. Is because he, in Miramax, he went on this like whole spree of like, in order to market my movies, I'm going to make sure they get the most Oscars, which is why Gwyneth Paltrow has an Oscar, pretty much. Is that during the, and weirdly, the woman who was in Frida did not get one, even though that was also Miramax. That was like a race thing. They talked about that too. But so I think, but unfortunately, as horrible as he is, he did change the way that the Academy looks at nominees. Is how much money can you throw under a nominee for anything? That's why you'll see just some wackadoo winners, I think, you know. And so I think that they need to just clean house, redo it, because what was it? The one year Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture. That was like their half attempt at making it diverse. You know, like there were so many other. Black Panther is great. Don't get me wrong, but that was like maybe 30 years too late in my mind to do something like that. And now this year that you see a lot of diverse nominations, which I think is great. Are they going to win? I mean, probably not. Unfortunately, I think it is just going to be a matter. That's just like them kind of like fanfare and fodder for people to be like, no, they're not racist. They're not sexist. But I think that's not true. So, but unfortunately, I think just with the infrastructure of Hollywood and of the music industry and stuff too, that in order to get funding, you have to win those awards because they mean something. Which is something that a friend of mine who works a lot of like living in Nashville, you have a lot of friends who work in music. Everyone does. Doesn't matter. They matter to me, but you know what I'm saying. They're very important to me. And they were like, because we watched the Taylor Swift documentary where she's like, oh, I didn't get nominated for X amount of Grammys for her one album. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of like a bratty way of looking at it, I think. And they're like, that's her world. And also, in order for her to get backing and funding and keep working and being in power, she has to win those awards and get those nominations because those are important. So I think that either break down the entire infrastructure of entertainment, get rid of them, or break down the entire infrastructure of entertainment, keep them, but clean house. And maybe don't let Harvey Weinstein influence how we vote in the Academy.
Man, nice. Coming out
And Michael
strong.
Bay sucks.
Perfect. All right, here we go. Adding points.
Nice.
That's great. I always appreciate a good burn it all down approach. Justin, what do you have? I've made you go the last two questions in the first round, so we'll stick you right in the middle this time. Justin, what do you got?
Well, I want to start off by saying Michael Bay sucks. And
Sorry, Cortney did it first. So deducting a point for trying to pander to the host.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I gambled and I failed. In my opinion, it was even before COVID, there were too many pomp and circumstance award shows, too much. It was, in my opinion, and it still is, a situation like I would liken it to youth soccer. Everybody plays, everybody wins. I mean, how many award shows do we have this time of year? Golden Globes, Oscars, Grammys. People's Choice is what, coming up or has already happened?
That's the first one.
Don't forget the Nickelodeon Choice Awards.
Oh yeah, the Kids' Choice Awards.
Kids' Choice Awards.
Very important.
Teen Choice Awards.
Teen Choice Awards.
SAG Awards.
Exactly. We have too many award shows. We need to just decide, okay, for film, you're going to have the Oscars. For music, you're going to have the Grammys. You're not going to have the American Music Awards, the Country Music Awards, the Hip Hop Awards. You're not going to have all of these different award shows because, and this is going to, I might, hopefully my boss is not watching this right now because I totally forgot.
Perfect.
I totally forgot the Grammys were this weekend, and that's actually something I should have watched as part of my job. So, so the fact that I even forgot the Grammys were on, that has to say a lot about
half a point because you might get fired.
Half a point because I might, Daddy needs the money. And, but you know, it's to a point where we need to just decide, okay, one award show per entertainment category. And as I'm getting Gogo is like, no, not happening. But that's just me. Burn me as you will. Michael Bay still sucks, and so does Ryan Seacrest.
Man,
yes, agreed.
I feel like I was gonna dock you a point for throwing Michael Bay out there again, but because you threw in Ryan Seacrest, it kind of like canceled itself out. So now you're not deducted a point. Perfect. Gogo. I know you have some opinions based off of that response, so lay them on me. What do you got?
Well, it could be that I just don't like Justin, but yes, I do actually have things to say.
Get in line. Take a number. We're at currently 3, I think.
Okay. I absolutely believe that there is room and space and desire for the pomp and circumstance. We have a ton of award shows because people watch them and the media feeds them. And I never watch them, but I do look to see who's wearing what every single time. And I will eat that up until I don't know, people just going around naked all the time. Free the nipple, which I'm totally fine with too, even if it's not really practical in colder climates. But that is fun. That is absolutely fun. And here's what I took away from the Grammys. I mean, I think I just sort of mentally checked out with the Grammys the year that you had all these very strong femme performers, and you had Kesha coming back, and then they're like, here's Ed Sheeran talking about a woman. He can't even bother to remember her except the shape of her body, and that wins. No, I'm totally checked out after that. But here's what I gleaned from this year's Grammys. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. And if people keep being brave to put that out there, and it gets the love. And of course, it's a controversy. No, it's not a controversy. It's two adult women singing about pleasure. Get over it. We've had to hear about penises.
Yeah.
All of our lives for eons and eons and eons.
Yeah. I don't even like the sound of that. Ugh.
Penis. If we get to continue to see, and again, I want for Black and minority performers to not be the spectacle. I want them to be celebrated, not just in all of their talents. Like you will see them performing, but are they winning appropriately? No. So again, gut the system and change that, because we see through them now. And it also means that we will tune in to see the blogs that are showing who's wearing what and all this. And we will go watch it later when it pops up on YouTube and all these different places of Cardi B being, mind-blowing. If you haven't seen it, watch it and then watch it 20 more times. We will tune in for that. Doesn't mean we're going to tune in for the show, because as you said, quote unquote, woke, we know what's up, and they will continue to lose viewership for the actual shows. So is there room for pomp and circumstance? Yes, people used to really like beauty pageants. There was a big thing about beauty pageants. They were a thing. That's not really so much of a thing anymore, but these award shows still are. And I'm not even speaking about how important it is in terms of success for people to be winning. I'm just talking about us who want to gobble that up. We are still a cult of celebrity, and we still love fashion and looks, and we get to see what we would love to wear, but we are not going to wear that, but we wish we do. Who knows? We might even cosplay it. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm excited now. I'm going to go when we're done with it, I'm going to watch that Cardi B and Megan again.
Same, girl. Same.
I love that. I wish that I had a way to just cut in the WAP performance into this right now.
So you make no money. Just completely demonetized.
Totally. Everything's gone. It's all over. But you know what? People needed to see it. So worth it. Man, this is good. This is really, really good. Man, this is a hard round. All right, so I'm going to award points real quick. All right, Justin, a controversial stance. First off, you may get fired for not watching the Grammys, and I'm sorry. But what a cool way to go out on the last word. Just
there
saying.
You go. Blaze of glory.
I will say that although I liked your opinion, I will say I disagreed with it. I think, especially while the existing award shows happen, all of these smaller award shows, you'd mentioned like hip hop awards, you'd mentioned country music. I think those have to exist to have a fair playing field, because right now the larger awards create an unfair advantage towards, like Cortney had mentioned, the Harvey Weinstein-led industries. So I think you have to have kind of these smaller branches. I do like the idea that Cortney and Gogo both kind of echoed of scrapping the system and starting all over again. I'm always in to burn things to the ground. A little anarchy is awesome. So with that said, I will award points thusly. Justin, I give you 2 points. Because like I said, while an interesting opinion, I can't say that I agree with you. So that brings you to 7 for the first half of round 2. Gogo, anybody who can include both free the nipple and the word penis into a discussion about award shows gets a lot of points in my book. So I'm awarding you Points don't matter. 300 points. So that brings you to
I came to slay.
that brings you to 306.5 imaginary points.
The game's over at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, right. This is Quidditch. What the hell?
Doesn't matter, right? We're just throwing points. You get some points, and you get some points, and if you reach under your seat, there's some points. Cortney, you had the first anarchy answer, which I liked. But it was just kind of straightforward. You didn't mention freeing the nipple or penises. So I'm sorry. While your points are going to be high, they're not 300 high. I'm giving you 15 points. So that brings you to 20 points. Gogo to 306.5 points. And Justin,
I can still bomb. I can still absolutely
7 points.
bomb.
Definitely. Don't forget,
Definitely.
I can just deduct points throughout the show as well. So who knows? Somebody could be at like -5 by the end of this round. Speaking of end of the round, let's get there with the second question. Question 2. Sony recently officially announced that a new PSVR system is in the works for the PS5. Alongside this news, Facebook, who owns the Oculus brand of VR hardware, has been allocating just ungodly amounts of money and energy into further developing VR and AR technologies. That said, do you believe that VR is the way of the future, or is it still like a Jaws 3D style gimmick? Let's go with Justin. I'm going to give you the opportunity to redeem yourself.
Okay, go.
You get first dibs. Go for it.
Yes and no. Yes, in the way of, well, let's start with no. It's a bad. It can be gimmicky if we are talking from an entertainment perspective, like video games, movies. Because how many TikTok videos have we seen? Hey, let's put the VR headset on grandma and pop something in and see how she reacts, and she almost falls out of her chair. But on the opposite side, I do think that in a non-entertainment form, there is a ton that could be done with VR from a science point of view, a medical point of view, a just technology point of view. There could be educational point of view. I mean, you could throw this in a STEM class and just take it to the next level. So while on an entertainment side, it's going to be a little gimmicky and it's going to be a little Jaws 3D-ish, a little, I'm going to really, really date myself and say Virtua Boy. It's going to be on the, on the, I think I still have that, by the way. On the opposite side, business side,
it's worth like $3 million at this point. So
probably so. And I'm going to need that after that. After
you get fired.
After the Grammy remote. But on the actual like science and technology side of things, it could be huge and it could be the next big thing. It could literally change the way we do things from now on. We could find cures for diseases through VR. We could enhance. Well, I know.
I just like that you went there. So
I went there. I mean, we could, do surgeries from, I could be in a hospital in Indianapolis and have a doctor doing a surgery on me in Phoenix through VR in some form. I mean, so from that point of view, yes, the money definitely needs to be spent because it could be used in such a great way. And again, entertainment point of view, kind of gimmicky.
All right. Interesting. Strong feelings. Justin, there's one thing I can count on for sure, and that is an opinion. Because both times you have given me distinct opinions about things, whether they're right or wrong. Well, let's decide. Cortney, what do you got?
All right. My opinions on VR have changed over a couple of years. I remember like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was hanging out with a bunch of comedians and one of them had a VR headset and we were playing around with it. It was like, I think the game was called Bar Fight where
yes, that is a real game. Everyone go check it out immediately.
Where you put on the I just remember playing it being stoned out of my mind. Sorry, in a double wide trailer with 500 feet.
What is even happening? Stoned in a double wide trailer playing bar fight in virtual reality? That sounds like the trashiest future I've ever heard. And I love it. I love it.
Sorry, that memory just washed over me.
No, I appreciate you letting it wash over you and sharing it with all of us.
I haven't thought about that in a very long time, but we were playing bar fight, and I remember talking to a comedian who is also a friend of Project Nerd. I will not say their name because I don't know if they would want to be named. I have no gauge of what people want anymore.
Sure,
or
no,
don't
totally
want.
Fair.
So we were talking, and he was just like, yeah, I think this is going to be the future, but also it's going to be real lawless out there. Like people can cheat on their spouses and no one would know. And I was just like eating it up. I'm like, yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, yeah, people are cheating already. They've been cheating since the dawn of time. So that's not going to change it, and where was I going? I got stuck in that haze of a memory.
Now.
I love it.
But yeah, I think VR from an entertainment standpoint, agreeing with Justin that it's fun. I think it could be a lot better. I think there could be a lot of advancements made with the entertainment side of it that could really elevate playing video games and just even just experiencing life. Like I have another friend who has a VR set, and they would just go outside and it would just look different outside with the headset on, and that could be a cool way just to, if you want to live your life like that, I guess kind of like The Sims, but you're the sim, and you also control yourself. But so basically being a human being with the headset on.
As we all are wearing.
As we all are right now. But I think I think there is a place for it in the sciences as well as again, I don't have a great answer. I'm not. My answers are going to be bullshit. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, I like
it. Video while you're at it.
I know. Roll the Cardi B clip. Everybody, roll the Cardi B clip.
I'll just keep swearing.
All right,
go. I have to edit so much out.
Sorry, that's my very.
What do you got to follow that up?
Okay. I am going to say that I see Justin's point, and I want to tell him that those surgeries are actually already happening. It was in the news. I guess you don't read the news, darling. That's fine. You've got other things to do, like get fired. So you're IQ? You okay? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to keep going.
I love this.
We know that VR is going to be absolutely huge for medical stuff, hospital surgeries, etc., because it's already happening. And we know that it is going to be wonderfully useful in terms of rehabilitation and different types of therapies for human beings because it's already happening. So I think that's great. And I think that could be a huge reason why they're both pushing so much to get the tech done. And no, because I can see this coming up first. But on the fun side, do I think it is going to be the way? No, I think it is going to be a way. I've seen Ready Player One. I know what's up. I watch sci-fi. I've seen all this stuff. I know what this is about. It's going to happen. And it's going to be like, that part of our future that comes maybe after the Mad Max apocalypse. Movies don't lie, do they? So no, this is going to happen. But here's the thing. Not everyone has a double wide trailer. That's, no, they are very expensive. They are very expensive. I'm completely serious. That is a privileged place to live. They're not cheap. Not everybody has that kind of space, and I do very much enjoy the TikToks and the blooper little videos and whatnot and the reels of people putting it on and then trying to play and their dog comes up and they just fall over, or they're trying to play in their yard and they somehow still fall in their fountain or something, or their swimming pool. I love that. I live for that. I had a thought, okay, we're talking about movie theaters. And I had said, I know down in the South here, when they don't work out, they kind of get turned into gun ranges. I had just thought of something better. The way laser tag used to be the thing. And I know on the Ocean City, Jersey Shore boardwalk, there is virtual laser tag. So that is already a thing already. What if we take these giant theaters that no longer show movies, and instead of making them into gun ranges or something like that, you can set up different safe spaces with padded walls and people can play together. And if they bump into each other, I don't know, maybe again, they're wearing that padding that happens when like you're training an attack dog or something, or they're doing something so that they can bump into each other. Adam Savage did this whole thing way back in the day with bubble wrap, fell off a building. It's possible. But okay, I have a business plan now, and I'm going to need you all to sign an NDA. Thank you very much.
Add trampolines to that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's
a trampoline park.
Oh, yeah. Oh, think of the stuff you have to sign of like when you enter, you probably will break a bone, but that's
Justin will gladly sign that NDA, considering that he is jobless now, with hopes that a job prospect will come out of that. So, all right, I love these answers. All right, so here's how we're gonna dole out points at the end of round 2. All right, Cortney, because I have no idea what your response was about, but I really enjoyed it. It was one of those things. It's like watching a David Lynch film. Like, I don't know what's happening, but I think I like it.
I'm flattered.
So, with that said, I'm going to give you 360 3/8 points.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Which
Play that
brings you
bot
to
video.
a total of 380 3/8 going at the end of round 2. Gogo. Because I really enjoy watching you burn the other contestants. But it is also starting to make me kind of sad for them. I am awarding you a decent amount of points, but not as many as I normally would. But I do absolutely love your idea of giant safe space VR gaming areas. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put on my VR headset right now No, I'm not. But I want to go there once you start that business. I am awarding you 50 points and 0.8 ounces.
Oh.
Because, sure. Justin, your points don't matter because you lose this round for sure. 100%. You're out of here. Everybody say goodbye to Justin. Bye, Justin.
Bye.
Bye.
I actually think you're great. So
I think you're awesome. Yeah, you're really fun. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Woo! I know, extreme close up. Now, you guys, you're going into round 3, and you're coming into round 3 hot, because I have zero idea of how you guys are going to answer the remaining question. So with that, I say let's begin round 3. Boom, the last round. This is it. This is for all the pesos, all the marbles, all the everything. All right, all the clout, if you will. Round 3 only has one question, and one person will remain standing at the end of it. Now, that question is this. With The Witcher being a smash hit on Netflix, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 officially in production, and casting well underway for an Eli Roth-directed feature adaptation of the Borderlands video game series. What is a video game property that you think is primed to make the big or small screen jump? Let's go with Cortney. What do you
right.
got?
I am going to lose points for this, and I'm probably going to lose all my hot points from all of our 2 listeners right now, but I'm not a big video game person. That's just something I wasn't allowed to play growing up. My parents were kind of sexist. My brother still has their old Nintendo set from like the 80s, but that's beside the point. I'm still also the oldest, so I should have gotten it, but I never got to play them, so it's kind of a weird subject for me. However, I like watching a lot of playthroughs. It's very calming to watch other people play video games. I would make a great girlfriend is probably what I'm getting at. I could just sit there and watch them play video games and like really enjoy it. I don't want to play them. I get too anxious. I mean, I played like Guitar Hero and stuff, and if that counts. And then I also like Mario Kart and all that stuff. I did like Mario Kart brackets in college. Anyway, I don't need to justify my standing with you on video games. My answer is, and this is from extensive research and from my friends who like video games over and just in passing that they've mentioned what they love is I think it's already being made, but Among Us. I would love to see a movie or TV adaptation of that game.
I'm into that, like a Clue style adaptation.
No, I would think it'd be more.
You want to see like a straightforward, like a serious adaptation?
Yeah, I think that would be great because from what I've watched on the playthroughs and what my friends have described to me, my friend said she cried after the first and second one when she ended both games. It was so emotional for her, and it's I've had friends who've stayed up all night who don't normally play video games, who've got really invested in this game. So I'm speaking from their perspective, but there's something to it.
I do have to ask this, just for clarification purposes, so my brain can wrap around it. Do you mean The Last of Us?
Oh yes, The Last of Us.
Okay.
Oh my
All right,
God.
perfect. I had to infer that because for a second, the game Among Us is basically just like Clue in outer space. So when you said, although I will say that the idea, it's funnier the other way around because the idea of you having a friend that's emotionally attached to Among Us is fascinating. So with that, we're going to move on to Gogo's. We're going to move on to Gogo's response. Gogo.
I love that, and as much as I've been trying to diss Cortney, I think you're brilliant, and that was awesome. And I also really like your hair, like for real.
Oh, thank you.
Saying that, so Quentin's not mad at me. But I know I really feel that way. But oh my gosh, okay, I gotta recover. I'm sorry, it's so funny. Okay, okay. How much time do I have? Because I have thoughts.
Yeah, I would say if you could keep it within like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, pressure. I'm going to say, based on when you put it this way, I guess I got to be okay. I'm going to be very businesslike and talk to you as a producer. I'm completely serious. I'm a producer, so
I love it.
I would go with God of War because it is very it has history. It is embedded in popular culture. I have never played it, but I know so much about it. Don't quiz me. And I haven't played it because it's just not my style of game, but I have watched so much and I enjoy how it goes and it is fascinating. And since The Witcher has already proven to be a success, then I think God of War is not a hard sell. I mean, you could start with him just being him and you get introduced to it. And then second season, once you're all hooked in, you do the beloved one, the last one where there was a kid and it tugged at your heartstrings and the memes were everywhere. And I just think if you made it more accessible for non-players than The Witcher was, so that people are not like, what is this timeline? Can I just get back to Geralt's ass? Like, come on. And you do give us the other characters that are so beloved. We don't have to super wait for them. I'm just making a good formulaic show that's already based on a super, super successful IP and a main tentpole character that people love. So that is my safe answer. And then because I love zombies answer is Left 4 Dead 2. Because it is a cult classic now, the Left 4 Dead series. Valve has a chance to come in and do zombies right. Show us. Because that game, which I have played too many hours of, that game has a story and it comes to an ending. And if we see familiar characters going through familiar places, we're all going to be like, yes. And as a zombie super fan who read all of The Walking Dead and finally had to give up on the show, and I was like, please don't do this to me. You can do it. You can do it right without it just meandering forever. And also, I think it would give Valve a chance to redo their Black characters without falling into racial stereotypes and tropes. So Valve can show that they have evolved and they understand it, and we get characters that we've played for hours and we love, and you can spend some time when you're going through the maps kind of meeting people in the area. Like when you go into that bog town, you got to cross over that. It's like, you know, but you can make each chapter or whatever they're called, you know, there's a finite amount of them, but you can make each one a season. And then it wraps up within 5 seasons, and you've got a great show.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, this is hard for me on so
we
many
both win.
on so many reasons, because I love what just happened. First off, Cortney, I'm just gonna be totally honest with you. I was gonna give you 0 points because of the fact that you were at least honest, but you were like, I don't know video games, so I can't really answer this question. So fairly, you don't have a lot of information to back up your statement, but I ended up giving you some points because I love the concept once again of Among Us being a dramatic movie that your friend is emotionally invested in. So that being said, I gave you 5/8 of a point to bring your score to 381 points at the end of round 3. Now, Gogo, I love your answer. I couldn't agree more. I think God of War is a fantastic property to get adapted. I've seen casting rumor mills all over the place of different ideal people. But I will say that the fact that you not only brought 1 suggestion, but you brought 2 because you were just so bubbling over with adaptation desire, I'm going to award you 5 billion points. And that makes you tonight's winner. And you officially get the last word. Everybody say goodbye to Cortney. Goodbye, Cortney.
You're awesome. Tell more stories.
And Gogo, this is the moment that everybody waits for. This is your last word. I'm going to roll the intro, and then as soon as it stops, you have 30 seconds to do or talk about whatever you like, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. The last word.
Hi, I'm Gogo Incognito. As it says right there, thank you for watching and or listening this far. I am awesome. I'm this much fun all the time. Don't worry, I do have my chill moments. But here is how you can experience and hang with me this awesomeness. I'm very active on social media, and I always talk to people on my Instagram. Here's a great way to find it. I'm Gogo Incognito. Also, my Facebook has a lot of really beautiful pictures. If you like that kind of thing, come to my Facebook, which is Gogo Incognito. And if you want to see me be stupid and make fun of myself and try really hard to learn TikTok, come find me on TikTok at Gogo Incognito. I am a burlesque artist. I am a cosplayer. I'm a streamer. I'm a giant dork. I just really am. And I really love meeting new people and connecting with friends and fans. So come find me if you're nasty.
I love that. I second that. Everyone go check out Gogo Incognito. She is tonight's winner of the last word.
Do I get a sticker or something?
You do. It's in the mail to you already. One day, probably. Somebody out here. It's a WAP t-shirt. I know it has nothing to do with the last word, but
so relevant.
It's very relevant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring back everybody so that we can say goodbye to them one more time. Justin, Cortney, Ryan, thank you all so much for joining us on this edition of The Last Word. We all hope to see you back again in 2 weeks right here on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. In the meantime, make sure you go check out project-nerd.com for all of the geek goodness, things that Justin is working hard to put out, things that Ryan is working hard to put out. Courtney's been on way too many of our shows. And Gogo, this is only the beginning of your journey with Project Nerd, I assure you. Everybody go check out
Don't worry.
all of these amazing guests, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, buddy.
Bye. Thank you.